Harry and Meghan Markle's surrogacy scandal has entered the mainstream media domain.
It sounds fake.
What if one of the most famous royal births wasn't what we were told?
It's just so disgusting.
For years, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have told the story of Archie's birth as being private, secret, and against what
people think her kids are fake. They think they're AI.
But now people are speaking up, loudly and with proof.
It was a dreadful thing to do, and actually completely wrong.
They think something much darker might have happened at that hospital.
Take a listen.
This scandal comes as no surprise. Speculation about the children has been simmering for years.
And at the center of it all is Candace.
I was instantly enraged from this 10-second clip. It just annoyed me.
She's calling out what she believes are huge lies in Meghan's pregnancy story.
Does it make you sound like a better mom? It makes you sound like really kind of into yourself in a way.
The lies are so crazy that doctors and royal insiders are shocked.
This crisis won't die down until the irrefutable truth comes out.
From Harry's own book to hospital worker leaks, the official story doesn't just feel weird, it feels almost...
He describes her very well, and he does this by taking a look...
Absolute media manipulation. But I thought tonight this was really ridiculous.
If these lies are real, then the public wasn't just fooled.
Buckingham Palace is being pressured to remove Prince Archie and Princess Elizabeth from the UK's royal line of succession until the Duchess provides absolute proof that she popped out both babies herself.
The trust between Meghan, Harry, and the millions of people who celebrated Archie's birth might have been broken from the very beginning.
Why lie? It was just so truly bizarre.
But before you make up your mind, let's look at the proof piece by piece. What comes next might change how you see this royal story forever. The timeline in Harry's own book might show more than the couple wanted. In his best-selling book, Harry says Meghan gave birth to Archie at the fancy Portland hospital. She supposedly got not one, but 2 epidurals before leaving the hospital with their baby in just a few hours. On the surface, it sounds dramatic and glamorous, like a story showing how strong and in control she was. But when doctors, nurses, and even mothers who've had babies started looking at this story, they had lots of questions. First, the idea of getting to epidurals during labor made doctors suspicious. An epidural isn't
risky. Why would you do that? That's not necessary.
Silence everybody and just produce a DNA sample or proof of delivery. It's
like she's playing a human being, like it's a performance.
Second, the recovery time Harry describes is almost medically impossible. Most new moms, especially those with any problems or even normal pain medicine, are watched for at least a full day before going home. Yet Harry claims Meghan was at home, relaxed and resting with Archie within 2 hours. And here's where it gets even stranger. Portland Hospital is in central London, while their home at Frogmore Cottage is a long drive away. Between discharge papers, newborn checkups, pain recovery, and the drive, the timing just doesn't make sense. Even in the best situation, the timeline feels rushed and suspiciously convenient. This makes you wonder, why tell a story that doctors say doesn't match reality? And if the timeline is wrong, what else in their carefully told story might also be fake?
It bothers me first because it's a lie. She's not in the hospital trying to induce labor by twerking. The hospital will not give you a bed because you're trying to induce labor. You are not allowed to.
If Harry's timeline made people suspicious, Meghan's handling of the press made things worse. Traditionally, when a royal baby is born, there's a strict plan. The Queen is told first, an official announcement is made, and the press is told almost right away so they can share the news. But when Archie arrived, those rules seemed to disappear. Meghan herself gave 3 different reasons for why the press wasn't alerted the normal way. In one version, she said it was to protect her privacy. In another, she blamed the palace. A palace worker even admitted being confused about the timeline. Some reporters were told Archie had already been born hours before the announcement, while others got messages saying the Duchess was in labor when she actually wasn't. This kind of mess doesn't just break rules, makes people not trust the royal family. And remember, palace guards and
put up a camera, fixate it, and then both of you start twerking. Because in her mind, she was thinking, I'm going to release this later in a Netflix doc or release it later to show people how relatable I am. Otherwise, you can have a cute moment with your husband without recording it. Why would you record this for any reason? Why would you record this in the hospital?
Was this confusion on purpose to hide what really happened with Archie's birth? Because the strange press situation is nothing compared to what we find when we look at Portland Hospital itself. Do you think these lies are about protecting privacy, getting sympathy, or covering up something deeper? When Harry said Meghan got 2 epidurals during labor, doctors immediately got suspicious. An epidural isn't a quick shot. It's a careful procedure, where a tube is placed near your spine to give continuous pain relief. Once it's in, it stays there, and doctors can adjust the medicine without taking it out and doing it again. That's why experts say the claim of having 2 epidurals doesn't make sense. Switching tubes during labor is rare, risky, and would only happen in unusual situations. Even then, it would make recovery time longer.
Why have they simply not made an announcement to the fact that all of the speculation about the children's arrivals?
Yet Harry's story makes it sound like this was normal and no big deal. Critics say this detail doesn't match medical reality, but instead sounds like he made it dramatic for effect or worse, made it up. And the confusion doesn't stop there. If Meghan really had an extra procedure like that, her quick recovery and leaving Portland Hospital, the same day becomes even more impossible. The combination of multiple epidurals and leaving the same day doesn't match how childbirth medicine actually works. This leads to a worrying question. Was this just a simple mistake about medical terms, or was the story purposely shaped to sound extraordinary? Because with Meghan's pregnancy story,
You need proof that I'm authentic? I just dropped myself twerking. I have proven that I am authentic because I twerked with my husband in a room.
childbirth is not something you just walk away from in a few hours, no matter how rich you are. Normal medical practice requires new mothers to be watched for at least 24 hours after giving birth, even when nothing goes wrong. Doctors check vital signs, bleeding, and both mother and baby get checked repeatedly before they can leave. Now, if there were problems like preeclampsia, which Meghan herself mentioned, doctors would never let a patient leave so quickly. Preeclampsia isn't a small problem. It can cause seizures, organ damage, and dangerous high blood pressure. Women who have it are usually watched for days, sometimes weeks, too. Make sure they're stable. Yet, according to Harry's book, Meghan gave birth, got multiple treatments, and was back home in about the time of a movie. That timeline isn't just unusual, it directly goes against what baby doctors say is safe, responsible care. Medical experts looking at this story have called it reckless at best and impossible at worst. And here's where the lies get sharper. Meghan has positioned herself as someone who cares about maternal health, often talking about how important proper care and watching are. If her story about leaving so soon after birth is true, it goes.
If you had those things, it would be very easy just to put them out there and say, this is what happened. This is what it is.
Behind the polished royal announcements, whispers from Portland Hospital staff tell a different story. Anonymous workers have talked about odd things that don't match the official story. One insider questioned Harry's claim about ordering late-night food, pointing out that patients don't just order fancy meals at all hours. Yes, Portland offers nice dining, but stories of Meghan's specific food cravings don't match what staff actually remember serving. Another weird detail involves the so-called secret elevator that Harry described in his book. According to longtime workers, while the hospital is private, there's no hidden system like the one he described. Instead, the building works like any other fancy hospital. These accounts paint a troubling picture of a story made up for public consumption rather than based on fact. Add to this the quiet testimony of a supposed hospital insider who claims Meghan's stay was less dramatic than portrayed, and suddenly the official timeline feels even shakier. Candace Owens has jumped on these inconsistencies, arguing that when small details fall apart under scrutiny, bigger claims must also be questioned. Was the royal couple exaggerating for sympathy? Or was there something more purposeful at play? An effort to control every piece of the story, even down to the menu and the hallways? Whatever the case, each leak pushes the public further from trust and closure.
So all of the pictures, my point is, out there were inconsistent with the idea of a real pregnancy.
By now, the lies aren't just adding up, they're demanding an explanation. If the timeline doesn't add up, if the hospital details don't check out, and if insiders keep contradicting the official version, then we're left with one scary question. Why? Why would Meghan and Harry feel the need to change or exaggerate something as personal as the birth of their child Some suggest it was about control, keeping power over the story in a royal system where privacy is nearly impossible. Others argue it was a strategy to get sympathy, showing Meghan as a woman dealing with huge challenges under huge pressure. And then there are those who believe that secrecy wasn't about Meghan at all, but about protecting the monarchy from uncomfortable truths. Whatever the reason, the lies created an unintended result. Instead of silencing critics, they gave doubters even more ammunition. Every changed detail, every blurred timeline, every misremembered moment makes people think they're dishonest, and once public trust starts to break, rebuilding it is nearly impossible. Candace Owens' criticism taps directly into this mistrust, making doubts that were already there even louder. Because if a royal couple can't be honest about a birth, what else might they be hiding? Whether it was a calculated PR...
I am sorry, but, and genuinely, I don't even mean to attack her. There was something frustrating about her, and I think he hits the nail on the head.
So there you have it. From book contradictions to hospital mysteries, Meghan's pregnancy story is packed with lies that simply don't add up. Whether you believe this was just sloppy storytelling or something more carefully planned, one thing is certain. The truth remains buried under layers of confusion. Candace Owens may have stirred things up, but her comments shine a spotlight on questions many people have whispered for years. The details don't match, the timelines clash, and every new explanation only opens the door to even more suspicion. But here's the kicker. This isn't the only part of Meghan's story that's raising eyebrows. If you thought the pregnancy timeline was wild, wait until you hear about her age